In this video, we're going to continue with the last 3 examples from the last video. So remember that we want the problem set equal to 0, so we need to move this 2 over. So that gives me x squared minus 6x plus a 10 equals 0. And again, we want to identify our a, so our a is 1, our b is negative 6, and our c is 10. In quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over a 2a. All right, so plug in your b. So our b is negative 6, our a's are 1, and our c is 10. All right, clean it up. Double negative's a positive. Grab your calculator, make sure you put parentheses around it, otherwise you're going to get a wrong answer. So we're going to get negative 6 squared minus 4 times 1 times 10. So I get negative 4. And I get to stop. This is no solution because you can't square root a negative. If you were to try to square root a negative on your calculator, so if I tried to type in the square root of negative 4, it's going to say there's not a real answer. All right, so we get to stop, no solution. All right, next problem. We need to set it equal to 0. So this time I think I'm going to move the 2x squared over, and I'm going to move the 3x over. So I've got my 0. 1x squared minus 2x squared is negative 1x squared. 5x minus 3x is a 2x plus 1. Now, even if you moved these numbers over to the left, you would still get the same final answer at the end. So my a is negative 1, my b is 2, and my c is 1. We're going to say x equals, again, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over a 2a. All right, so the b is 2, the a's are negative 1, and the c is a positive 1. All right, so that's going to reduce to a negative 2 plus or minus the square root of, grabbing my calculator, parenthesis 2 squared minus 4 times negative 1 times 1, so I get 8. All of that's over a negative 2. Now I need to ask myself, can the square root of 8 simplify? So we could say 4 times 2 and 2 times 2. So yes, I've got a pair of 2's. So this answer would be 2 root 2. So we need to replace that and say negative 2 plus or minus a 2 root 2. And all of that's divided by 2. So you need to reduce. This can reduce as well as that. So negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. And then the root 2, that doesn't, because a 2 and a root 2 are 2 different numbers. So there's my final answer on that one. All right, I'm going to subtract my 3 over. I'm going to subtract my 10x over. So that way I've got a 0 over here. And I have a 2x squared. 21 minus 10 is going to give us an 11x. And then 8 minus 3 is going to give us a 5. So my a is 2, my b is the 11, and my c is the 5. And I'm going to say x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over a 2a. All right, plugging in my b's, so I've got an 11 and an 11. My a is 2, and my c is a 5. So this simplifies to a negative 11 plus or minus the square root of We're going to take 11 squared minus 4 times 2 times 5, so we get 81. And we're going to divide that by a 4. Now hopefully you remember that the square root of 81 is a perfect square. So that's just going to simplify to just a 9. So I have negative 11 plus or minus 9 divided by 4. And so this is actually going to give me two separate answers because I have negative 11 plus 9 that has to be divided by 4, and a negative 11 minus 9 that has to be divided by a negative, not a negative 4, sorry, by a 4. So negative 11 plus 9 is negative 2/4, and that reduces to negative 1/2. Negative 11 minus 9 gives me negative 20 divided by 4 is negative 5. So my two solutions are negative 1/2 and negative 5.